Hey y'all, welcome to Backwoods Sports Rooms. I'm Justin.
And I'm Corey.
We're going to do the FedEx Orange Bowl between Northern Illinois and Florida State University. This is a pretty intriguing matchup. Everybody keeps on saying that Northern Illinois does not deserve to be there.
Bad thing is, I believe Northern Illinois with Lynch will come in and beat FSU.
My question is, what, you expecting to blow them out or something?
I'm expecting at least a 14-point win.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Florida State does
That's
not
going to be the
have
bonehead
a
pick
defense.
right there. That's going to be the bonehead pick right there.
No, we'll get to that one later. You're going to say Georgia Tech's my bonehead pick. But
That's another bonehead pick still.
but anyways, Northern Illinois has an offense. Has a decent defense. Florida State has somewhat of an offense and no defense.
Oh, defense.
No defense.
They held Georgia Tech to 15 points.
Georgia Tech was about to score. They threw a stupid interception. We're not talking about the Georgia Tech game.
Yeah, that's not Georgia Tech's offense's fault. That's Florida State's defense.
No, that was their quarterback throwing a horrible pass. But we're not talking about this game, really.
Okay, Florida State has a better defense than what you're giving them credit for.
No.
Okay, this is my thing right here. I don't think Northern Illinois has ever seen speed like they're going to be seeing.
They don't have speed. There's hardly any speed on that team. There's average players on Florida State.
You're
They're
so
all
used to
average.
You're so used to the SEC. I'm talking about as a whole broad spectrum. MAC, ACC, the speed difference between that's insane. You don't know how big of a level that difference that is.
But
There is a
NIU,
huge level of difference between the athletes on the field. I mean, don't get me wrong, Northern Illinois is not a bad team, but, I mean, I just don't see them winning this game. I mean, because Florida State's defense is good. Their offense, E.J. Manuel, I mean, they have a good offense, too. I mean, I say Florida State will win this by probably about 2 touchdowns.
I'm sorry. I see NIU running away with this one. Well, not really running away, just 14 points. Last touchdown probably be scored close to the end of the game. It'll be back and forth most of the game, and then NIU should pull away to a 2-point or 2-possession game at the very end.
I don't know why. Just shaking my head.
Just wait. You'll see.
I mean,
when
don't
the
get me
Orange Bowl
wrong.
comes on, and I'm sitting there bragging in your face.
Hey, remember this right here. What happened last time you pitched against Florida State?
Okay, I lost by 6 points.
That's my point exactly.
I said it was going to be a close game. But, I mean, they almost came back and won that game.
But you got to think this right here. Florida State's defense is better than what you're giving them credit for.
Georgia Tech sort of proved you wrong on that one.
Let's see. Yeah, they run a triple option offense. I mean, okay, nobody knows who's going to have the ball. Not even the players.
Exactly my point. That offense is the best offense ever.
No, it ain't. The
Yes,
best
it is.
offense ever is the one Alabama used against Georgia. That's the best offense ever.
No, that's just pure smash mouth football.
Yeah, they
Try
run.
and stop us.
They run for more yards than what Georgia Tech run for all year, like per game wise.
So,
And then they just handed it off, and everybody.
but
knew
look
what
at
they were doing.
Alabama's players. Alabama has some of the best players in the nation.
I mean, honestly, why don't we talk about them again?
I don't know. You brought them up.
But seriously, Florida State's defense is better than what you're giving them credit for. I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't see it. I mean, from what I've seen all year, they've played nobody. The games that they have played against that were big teams, they lost.
they only lost to North Carolina State.
Exactly,
And
North
Florida.
Carolina State.
Yeah,
North Carolina State.
yeah.
Who is North Carolina State?
They're going to a ball game, boss.
So what?
I think North Carolina State was to beat Vanderbilt.
I mean, they're playing Vanderbilt in the Music City Bowl. I mean, how many losses do they?
6-6.
They're 6-6. All right, exactly. Who did they lose to?
I say North Carolina State, yeah, but that was a fluke game. You gotta give somebody a fluke game. That was their fluke game. The only real loss.
How do you give 6 fluke games?
Now you're talking about North Carolina State. I'm talking about Florida State.
Oh, no.
Florida State only lost to Florida and North Carolina State, and Florida State had that game won, but
Because Florida State doesn't have a defense.
Florida State went to prevent defense and they come back and won. That's what happened.
No.
They only lost by 1 point. I mean, come on.
I don't care. I mean, it's still Florida State. They have no defense. They have a past history of having no defense.
Florida State's a better team than what you give them credit for. Don't get me wrong, Northern Illinois is going to come out fired up in this game because they're going to hear people like me all year that they don't have the athletes to compete with them. But it's just a matter of fact of
then they'll hear the one guy like me that says they're going to win, and that's going to fire them up even more because at least one person in the nation believes in them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody likes to pull for the underdog, but
I'm not pulling for the underdog. I believe they're actually the better team. I believe ever since I heard that they were playing FSU, I was like, well, that's a shoe-in. I mean, I'm sorry, but Northern Illinois is a great team. I mean, they don't play anybody. I'll give you that. They don't play anybody.
Who have they beat?
I mean,
exactly.
They're in the Orange Bowl. I mean, they've got to be good.
Who they beat? Oh yeah, Kent State and Kansas. Okay.
Who
Florida State beat? Florida State beat Clemson. Florida State beat.
It's Clemson.
Clemson's ranked number 14 in the nation.
I don't care. That's the luck of a draw.
I guarantee. I hate to say this, but Northern Illinois is not the top 15th team in the nation. I mean,
but Florida State isn't a top 25 team in the nation.
Bull. Florida State has proved they won the ACC.
I don't care if they won the ACC. I mean, look at the ACC. It has no one in it. It has Clemson. You have one game of the year that you play. The one SEC team you play, you get blown out by. I mean,
they didn't get blown out by. It was only like a 13-point game. That's not getting blown out. And
because Florida went.
As I recall, they had the lead in the third quarter. They just couldn't hold it long enough. As I recall.
Whatever.
Biased SEC fan right here.
Not a biased SEC fan, just lacking confidence in the ACC.
I mean, the ACC
it's a horrible conference. I mean, I see more stuff coming out of the Sun Belt than I do the ACC right now.
Okay. The Sun Belt Conference is a lot better conference people give them credit for. I mean,
I'm just saying, Sun Belt is better than the ACC in my mind at this moment.
I don't think so.
I mean, yes, you do have a couple of select teams, like Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's a great team, but
they have a losing record.
I don't care.
And they're a great team. First off, they didn't even win their own division. The only reason they went to that game right there is because Miami decided not to go to any ball games this year because they're under some kind of investigation. Okay, they're not even win their own division, and they're a great team. Okay, Corey, what is wrong with you?
They are a great team. They've had bad moments.
Bad moments? It's more like a bad season.
They've had bad
moments. They have 7 losses. How is that a great team?
That is a good team. They're a good team. I mean, most of their games have been close.
Georgia?
Okay, Georgia, I'll take that one back. That one wasn't close at all. I mean, but what do you expect against Georgia? I mean, it's Georgia. I mean, unless you're Alabama, you had no hope of beating Georgia, really. Except for South Carolina, which was a complete fluke.
South Carolina was not a fluke.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. South Carolina, at that time, was a better team than what they are now.
I'm still saying South Carolina, they had the home field advantage. Not only that, they had the game of the year, which they have every year. They have one game of the year where they beat a way better team, and they play as a way better team than they are.
But then what hurts them is Lattimore's out for the rest of the year, too.
Exactly.
You got to take it into account now.
But, I mean, not only that, South Carolina, I mean, like I said, this is the game of the year.
They only have 2 losses.
I know.
To LSU and Florida.
Florida, I mean, look how they played most of the year. I mean, almost lost to how many teams that are like little nobody teams, really?
Yeah, but their starting quarterback was out.
I don't care.
Driscoll, you got to get.
I mean, they're still playing at Florida. You're a Florida team. You're an SEC team. Of course, they have 5-star recruits.
So does Florida State get those same recruits? Those 2 teams fight for the recruits out of Florida. Okay, it gets split.
Yeah,
the
but
top 5-star recruits out of that state are get split between those 2 schools. So you're not giving Florida State enough credit.
That means nothing because Florida has more pull because they have the bigger stage. Florida can pull from across the nation. Florida State basically just gets Florida because nobody wants to go to Florida State because they're an ACC school.
Have you not seen the past tradition of Florida State? They've won national championship.
Yeah, I know they've won it before, but they haven't done anything since Bobby Petrino.
Tradition gives people recruits too. Look at Notre Dame, what they've been able to accomplish here lately.
Lately.
I mean, but before that.
But look who they played this year.
You don't give teams enough credit. That's your
I do.
problem. That's your problem.
But I believe people don't give people like NIU credit. I mean, they are a great team.
They're a good team. They're not a great team.
They're a great team. They just don't have the conference to back it up.
Okay, we'll find out during this Orange Bowl.
All right, well, guys, that's it for this segment. But, I mean, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at The Sports Room.
Facebook at facebook.com/Backwoods Sports Room.
All right, then subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/Backwoods Sports Room.
You got it that time. All right.
Yeah.